You want to do one last thing? You want to do some over unders real quick? A few minutes.
Sure.
All right. So for wins, the over under is set at 33.5, and I would say I'll go over on that. I'm not going to give an exact projection. I don't know. Okay, you know what? I'll give an exact projection. I think I don't know. No, I'm going to take the over. I'm going to say that the Kings win somewhere closer to 40 games. I think that's kind of an easy over on the 33 and a half.
Yeah, it should be an easy over. I mean, it'd be disappointing if they won any less than 33 games, or I guess any less than 34. So I'm definitely taking the over on this. I think they have the talent to do it.
Yeah. They have some individual player stats they got some over-unders on, which I think are really interesting. They got De'Aaron Fox at 23 and a half points per game. To note, he was scoring 28.9 points a game in the 15 games after the Sabonis trade. So I'm going to take the over on that.
Yeah, easily taking the over on that as well. Yeah, he ended the season really well last year. He still averaged, I think, like 22 point something points a game last year just because of that slow start. I mean, you got to remember that year before he averaged 25.6, I believe. So he definitely has it in him to average more than 23.5 points per game. And you would hope to see it over 25 and that is new, I guess, career season high.
Assists per game for De'Aaron Fox, 6.5. I thought this was a good threshold here to talk about. I'm going to cite the 15 games with Domas again. He was getting 6.8 assists in those 15 games. I kind of reluctantly take the over on this, but like it would be like 6.6 or 6.7, 6.8. Like I don't think it'll surpass 7 a game.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the under. I think it's gonna be really close to around 6.5 as well. I just think with the added ball movement and everyone kind of getting in on this passing thing, maybe Fox's attempts will go down instead of him just trying to work, do it all himself. With the added ball movement, I think it'll affect his assist numbers, not in a bad way, but I'm just gonna take the under on it.
I think that's a fair point. I almost thought about that. But Sabonis, 19 and a half points per game. Again, just for the reference, 15 or in the 15 games with Sac that he played, 18.9 points a game. There's a plethora of shooters on this team. I think going below, I think he'll score probably around 18 and a half a game. I don't know about 19 and a half.
Yeah, I think so too. I think I'm going to take the under. I think he'll be around 18-ish as well. Um, Especially with Fox, he's your main scorer. Um, yeah, I see him a little around that 18 mark too.
This is a good one. Sabonis, 12.5 rebounds per game. He's only ever, the highest he ever averaged in a season was 2019 and 2020. And that was 12.4. So it was just under. And in the 15 games with Sac, it was around 12.3. So historically, he's hovering just below that. But maybe this is the year where he gets a little more. I'm going to go with the fact that a little more activity on the glass from the guys around him. I'm going to say the under on 12.5. I think it'll be over 12 a game, but I don't know that it'll be 12.5. I think that's another kind of close one. That's another good set there.
Yeah, it's kind of like that thing where it's like I really want to take the over because I really hope, but being realistic, he's never even averaged 12.5 in a season. Like, no matter how close he's gotten, he hasn't done it yet, and he's a really good rebounder, one of the best rebounders in the league. So I would say that's like, if he's doing 12.5, it's like, dang, that's a pretty good year. So I'm going to take the under, just I guess to be safe. Although I really hope it's over. Of course, on all of these I do, but on that one especially, I think that one especially, it's like you can see him doing it a little more realistically than some of the other ones.
Yeah. You gotta love Sabonis, the third statistical over under 5.5 assists per game. For reference, those 15 games with Sack, he averaged 5.8 assists per game. I think that he's going to be the primary assist guy on this team for the most part. I think it'll be a little higher than that. I think 5.5 is kind of, I wouldn't be surprised if it's somewhere around there, but it's like, if we're saying, I don't know. I still think, I think it'll be higher than that. I think it's almost kind of easy to say that it'll be over, but I don't want to go that far.
No, I do. I think he'll average around 7. I think he's going to do more than Fox this year. Especially with the added ball movement and everything going to be running through him. He's just such a brilliant passer. I think he actually has that potential to do around 7 a game. And I mean, I know he's kind of like Jokic in a way already, but I think he's going to have a season where it's like, okay, like, I mean, not like baby Jokic, but just like, okay, like Sabonis is probably not going to be on Jokic's level. That dude's on another level, but definitely make him another name for himself in this league because he's already a 2-time All-Star. But I think he's going to have like a resurgent year, and a big man passing like that, it just draws a lot of eyes. So I think he's going to be averaging a lot of assists. So I'm going to easily take the over on that.
And then we got the rookie Keegan Murray. I think this is interesting because just for reference, for all the rookies, kind of the top picks, they have Banchero at 18.5 points a game, Jabari Smith Jr. at 15.5, Ivy at 15.5, and Ben Mathurin at 14.5. They got Keegan Murray at 17.5. I go under on that. I think it'd be like more like 16. He scored 16 in each of the preseason games. I mean, that's kind of a practical bet, I guess, at that point. I think with the rookie aspect of things, it's just you don't really want to commit to anything. So I play it really safe and go under on that.
Yeah, you said it was 16.5 or 17.5?
17.5.
That's crazy. That's if he does that, I'll be like very excited. But I'm never that high on rookies. I think he's going to be more around 13, 14. I know he had a great preseason in summer league, but man, you have Sabonis and Fox on this team too. 17.5. Like they're expecting this, like people to put money that he's going to score around 18 a game. That's crazy. Like what?
Yeah, I know.
So no, like definitely the under. I think it's going to be way under that. Not in a bad way, but that's a lot of points a game for a rookie who's not going to be your go-to scorer or even your second go-to scorer. Maybe, but no.
I think regardless of what, I just think 17.5 is just way too high.
That's crazy.
6.5 rebounds. I know I said he's a good rebounder, but I just still think that's kind of like, what? Where'd you get that number from? I think 6 would have been a better placement, but I just don't know. I don't know. I think I go under on that slightly.
Yeah, I go under 2 just because Murray, I don't know.
We don't know how it would be with other NBA players out there on the boards. 100%.
Yeah, and he might be on the perimeter more so than down low, and that's going to affect his chance of getting boards. So, yeah, I have the under on that too.
And then we got Harrison Barnes at 14.5 points a game. It's a guy that scored over 16 points a game the last 2 seasons. I go under just because of the added scoring around him. We've talked about his role kind of lessening, or at least the load of scoring lessening. So I think that kind of plays into it. And I just think 14.5, I mean, like, I don't know, it's kind of, it doesn't make it super easy, but I still think it'll be under.
Yeah. I mean, I'm the big guy saying that Harrison Barnes is going to excel with the less workload. But it just sounds weird to hear Harrison Barnes score less than 14.5 points a game in my head. It's like, dang, I don't want Harrison Barnes scoring 13 points a game. I want him around that 15 where he's, been since he's been in Sacramento. I don't know. For some reason, it's hard for me to imagine Harrison scoring less than 15 points a game or 14.5. So I'm going to go with the over, but I might eat my words on that. It's just completely instinctual here.
Yeah. The next guys are kind of interesting as well. Herter at 12.5. I have the over on that because I think Herter is going to be a pretty big scoring option on this team. I think it'd be closer. It'd be over 13, closer to 14 a game, which would be a major step up for him in his career. But I think that's what he's getting here in Sacramento. I know that you're going to be playing behind Fox and Sabonis. Like you played behind Trae Young and John Collins, and even Bogdanovich had more shot attempts than Herter in Atlanta. So I think he's going to get a slight increase in points per game, and I think that would mean he'd score over 12.5.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
that
go
one
with
is
the
tough.
under. I'm gonna go with the under, but like 2 points a game. Like barely
Marginal.
under. Yeah, marginal. I don't know. I hope. I mean, of course, I hope he goes over. Like I said on everything, but I don't know. That's a tricky one too. I think he's gonna be right around 12.5.
I mean, honestly, that's kind of a bet on the headband. Like, is that headband going to work or not?
Dude, headband Herter.
The
Awesome.
big hurt.
The big hurt.
Mm-hmm. Malik Monk at 11.5 points per game. I thought this one was also kind of tough, but I think I wrote down under at first, but then I switched to over, which is remarkably easy to make an O or a U into an O. But yeah, I would say I don't know if it'd be quite 12 points per game, but I think it might be over 11.5. That's me kind of riding the edge there. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the over too, just because. I mean, he's just gonna be that guy off the bench, kind of like how Buddy Hield was last year. Buddy was averaging, more than 11.5 last year. So I'm gonna go with the over. He's just gonna have a lot of volume off the bench, shooting
and for reference too, he averaged 13.8 points with LA last year. If we're talking about more scorers, a little less opportunity, I think that translates to being, instead of 13.8, maybe 11.8. I think that was my rationale behind it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We might sound like complete idiots.
No, I think we did good.
We got Davion. Whoops. Davion Mitchell at 12.5 points a game. This one was tough as well. But I did the under because, between the trade for Sabonis and the Fox injury, which was about 14 games for Mitchell, he averaged 10.1 points per game. But granted, he was shooting 32.2% from three in that time, and I think that he'll be shooting a higher percentage. But I just think 12.5, I think he'll be averaging somewhere around 12 a game. I don't know. I just went with the under on that one.
Yeah, my gut's telling me to take the under as well. 12.5. I mean, maybe if they said like 11 on the money, I'd be like, okay, it's interesting. But
he averaged 11.5 last year a game.
Did he really?
Yeah, I think if I might have that in my notes here correctly, let me double check.
I think just this year though, with Monk and maybe sharing time with Murray a little off the bench and Holmes,
11.5.
That's surprising. But I don't know. I just see him. I'd see his. I don't know. Not needing to score as much. I guess I don't know if he was scoring a lot, but well, obviously 11.5. But I don't know. My gut again is telling me to take the under on this. 12.5 seems just a little high to me. Where I'm like, okay,
yeah, it's
under.
It's close. It really depends on how well he's shooting the three. Because again, he shot 31.6% from three last season, and it's like, man, if he's shooting over 33%, that might translate to significantly more points. I don't know. So like 12.5 was an interesting, definitely kind of a tough one. But as much as I love Davion Mitchell, I think his impact is not necessarily going to be scoring, especially we're talking about how much Malik Monk is going to be a volume scorer in that second unit. Mitchell is probably not going to get as many opportunities, and that's probably serving to the best interests of the team and to his strengths. But
yeah, well, that was fun though. It's always, I don't know. I'm not like a big better or anything, so I don't know. Definitely makes you think, and I don't know.
even without the money involved, it's a good thing to chew on.
Yeah, for real. And like I said, of course, I hope everyone hits the over. But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see.
but
Um,
first taste on to tomorrow night, huh?